wish to notify you that today, the 16th day of October 2024, we have the honor to welcome teachers and pupils from Mombi Comprehensive School in Kaibaga ward of Ol Kalou sub-county of our county, Nyandarua. There are a total of 39 pupils and 3 teachers who are leading the delegation, namely Ms. Lois Wangombe, head teacher, Mr. Nicholas Mutuma, class teacher, Ms. Lydia Kinyanjui, teacher. In the delegation, we also have the leadership of the pupils led by Mr. Kevin Kinyanjui, school president, grade 7, Ms. Teresia Wambui, school deputy president, grade 7. As an assembly, we have a standing tradition of warmly welcoming our visitors, more so students or pupils, as we deliberate on important matters touching on the county. I therefore ask you, honorable members, to join me in applauding the teachers and students of Mombi Comprehensive School as aforesaid. Finally, I wish to thank the area member of County Assembly, Kaibaga Ward, namely Honorable Elijah Mwagi Nyaga, the majority leader, for ensuring the school is accommodated appropriately at the assembly during our plenary today. Thank you, honorable members. Clerk, next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, statements. Order number 8, motions and bills. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have a procedural motion to be moved by Honorable Peter Gadongo Kamau, Chairperson, Committee on Education, Children, Gender Affairs, Culture and Social Services.
Honorable members, I wish to give this opportunity to Honorable Mwangi Nyaga, the majority leader and member for Kaibaga, to give a statement welcoming the guests we have today as aforesaid. Proceed, Honorable Mwangi Nyaga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, just allow me to welcome the entire fraternity from Mombi Primary School, who also happens to be a school which is almost adjacent to where we are. Mr. Speaker, I'm so much happy with the leadership in this assembly by accepting the request from the leadership, from the head teacher, and who also happens. It's also quite important to appreciate that the head teacher from Mombi Primary School is also a parent to one of our employees in this assembly, who happens to be Mr. George. Yes, George who? Yes, we Elias Poji. The mom is the head teacher for the said school. We are very much happy, and I'm happy as one of the leaders in this assembly, because of the way the commitment that have been shown in this assembly in terms of setting the pace and taking seriously matters on education. We are committed as a county, as an assembly, as members of the county assembly, to see to it that we aid or we assist the said schools or the schools within the county. We have been able to provide material assistance in terms of the preparatory schools that are within the schools. The county has been able also to support in terms of provision of REMBA, that is the nursery schools teachers. We have been able to employ a number of different nursery school teachers, and in this, it all entails or leads to provision of better space for the students. I can promise the students that as one of your parents, one of the key leaders in this assembly, and as an area MCA, as I said and promised, we shall be embarking on a process whereby we shall ensure that every bright, every creed within the ward or within the county has been given the necessary support to see him through his education. And to the teachers' fraternity, we are very much happy. The fraternity from Mombi Primary School, I know you are putting everything within your disposal to see to it that the school is also moving well in terms of infrastructure development, in terms of the level output, because you know, the success of the leadership within the school is measured through the results. And I'm so much glad because there is a lot of improvement since the last like 3 years, and we are looking forward to, in terms of we as leaders, we are looking forward to a better improvement even in this year's exam. To the students who are handling their exam within the year, maybe within the next 1 month or maybe 1 month and a half, I just want to wish you success in everything. And remember, the kind of effort that you put forth repays back. It is quite important that at this moment, as you prepare for your exam, remember this, that education gives someone what we call a fallback position. Most of the members here are well learned, and they have so many alternatives in life. Education will always give you plan A, B, and C. So it is quite important that you also equip yourself properly, because the world that we are heading has just one room for those people who are well informed, those kids that have performed quite well. And I just wish you all the best as you handle your exams for those ones that are handling the exam, and for those ones that are in standard 6 and 7. You know, it gets to a point where a student thinks that because I'm being told by my teacher, my parents, that I should do this and this, it's like they don't understand what transpires in life. I can tell you, the word procrastination, most of the students who have defied the teachers and the parents will always procrastinate and say, I wish I knew. It is quite not quite in order to procrastinate in later space in life. It is quite important that you take everything serious from the teachers, from your parents, and I can assure you, you'll have a smooth sailing in life if you just hear what your teachers are advising you, what your parents are advising you. Remember, life is what we call an
Order, Honorable Majority Leader, you may conclude and put your microphone on. Your microphone on.
Yes, so to the students, take life seriously and you shall excel. Thank you very much, Madam, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me that opportunity. Thank you very much, and may God bless these students and the fraternity. Thank you.
Very well, Majority Leader. And for the information of these visitors, the said son of our head teacher is one Mr. George Kamunya, and aka Poji, and he is a clerk of the at the table office. He sits here, but he is on leave. We may proceed with the next with the motion as aforesaid in the order paper. Honorable Patience Nyambura Manga, Vice Chair, Committee on Education, Children, Gender Affairs, Culture and Social Services, specially elected member from Gadara. You may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, sir, before I go on the procedural motion, I would like to appreciate the student from Mombi Primary to welcome them to this assembly, and as the Vice Chair of Committee of Education is to encourage you that education is the only education that can make a child of a peasant with one table the king. With determination and hard work, you can become that person you want to become in life. Mr. Speaker, sir, on behalf of my chair, Honorable Gadongo, I would like to take you through the procedural motion. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following procedural motion that pursuant to Standing Order 236, the motion that this House does adopt the report of the Committee on Education, Children, Gender Affairs, Culture and Social Services on the suitability or otherwise of persons nominated as chairperson and members of the County Alcoholic Drinks Control Management Committee and members of the Sub-County Alcoholic Drink Committees as a report of the House and the recommendations therein as the resolution of the House, and A, that pursuant to Section 43A of the Nyandarua County Alcoholic Drinks Control Act 2024, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Mr. Dhirikwa Kamau Dhirikwa as the chairperson of the County Alcohol Drinks Regulations and Management Committee. B, that pursuant to Section 43J of the Nyandarua County Alcoholic Drinks Control Act 2024, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Reverend Father Joseph Kemamo Kemani as a member of the County Alcohol Drinks Regulation and Management Committee. C, that the pursuant to Section 43J of the Nyandarua County Alcoholic Drinks Control Act 2024, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Mr. Ruben Mochili Kingori as a member of the County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation and Management Committee. D, that pursuant to Section 63E of the Nyandarua County Alcoholic Drinks Control Act 2024, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Mr. John Mwangi Kemani as a member representing youth in the Meragine Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. 2, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Ms. Caroline Duta Demi as a member representing the community in the Meragine Sub-County Alcoholic Drink Regulation Committee. 3, this House does approve the nomination for appointment
Mr.
of...
Speaker, sir.
What is it, Honorable Steve?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm just of the concern. If the motion before us, we are House of Procedure. And Mr. Speaker, sir, there is a timeline that a motion should take for such a motion to be brought to this Honorable House. It should take 24 hours for the same to be brought to this Honorable House. Mr. Speaker, sir, the same was brought this morning, and after being brought this morning, Mr. Speaker, sir, is supposed to be discussed after 24 hours from the time that it was tabled in this Honorable House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I think on matter procedure, there's an issue.
Order. Honorable members, this motion, the notice was given this morning. This, as you may note, is a procedural motion and not a substantive motion. So it is quite in order for a procedural motion, and then we will have the substantive motion. Proceed, Honorable Manga.
Thank you. We are at number 3. This House does approve the nomination for appointment of Honorable Joyce Nyambula Nganga as a member representing persons living with disability in the Melangine Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. 4. This House does approve the nomination for appointment of Ms. Esther Wajiro Kenyajui as a member representing the youth in the Kipipili Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. 5. This House does approve the nomination for appointment of Mr. Paul Jogona Nganga as a member representing the community in the Kipipili Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. And next, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Ms. Beth Wangoi Mwaneki as a member representing the youth in the North Kinangop Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. Next, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Mr. Paul Karaya Karano as a member representing persons living with disability in the North Kinangop Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee representing. Next, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Ms. Fresia Wajiko Kamunyo as a member representing the youth in the South Kinangop Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. Next, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Ms. Lucy Nyambura Mutambai as a member representing the community in the South Kinangop Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. Next, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Mr. Ibrahim Gige Mungai as a member representing persons living with disability in the South Kinangop Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. This House does approve the nomination for appointment of Ms. Faith Wajiko Chege as the member representing youth in the Nyandarua Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. Next, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Ms. Royce Wajiko Karaoke as the member representing the community in the Daragwa Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation. Next, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Mr. Simon Wajero Murage as the member representing persons living with disability in the Daragwa Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. Next, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Mr. James Mogo Macharia as the member representing youth in the Olkalau Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. Next, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Ms. Catherine Wajiko Bogwa as the member representing youth in the Olkalau Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. This House does approve the nomination for appointment for Mr. Paul Kemani Motuko as the member representing persons living with disability in the Olkalau Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. Next, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Ms. Florence Wamoyo Rintari as the member representing youth in the Oljorok Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. This House does approve the nomination for appointment of Mr. James Katua Macharia as the member representing community in the Oljorok Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. And this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Ms. Joyce Duta Karaja as the member representing persons living with disability.
Mr. Speaker,
What is it, Honorable Karo Jarara?
is it possible for us to have the document that she is leading?
Clerk, ensure that it is in the iPad. Honorable members, I'm ably informed that it is available in your iPads. Proceed, Honorable Manga.
Next, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Ms. Joyce Duta Karaja as the member representing person living with disability in the Oljorok Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. E. That person through Section 63E of the Nyandarua County Alcoholic Drinks Control Act 2024. This House does disapprove the nomination for appointment of Mr. John Karaoke Boro as the member representing persons living with disability in the Kipipili Sub-County Alcoholic Drinks Regulation Committee. And This House does disapprove the nomination for appointment of Ms. Irene Waithera Kimemia as the member representing the community in the North Kinangop Sub-County according to its Regulation Committee. Be exempted from the requirements of the Standing Orders 55B that requires a notice of motion be given at least 1 day before the motion appears on the order paper. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. And I call Honorable Moredi to second.
Honorable Steve Moredi, special elected from Karau Ward.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I raise to oppose the motion, Mr. Speaker, sir.
What happens?
No, we can't allow this.
Honorable members, the mover of the motion has an opportunity to call for a second honorable member.
Clarification from the chair.
Or is it Honorable Getting?
On the issue before us, Mr. Speaker, we need to have a procedure because as it has been provided for in the standing order, if a mover calls the seconder and the seconder opposes, that particular motion dies there and there, and we want to know this new, it is defeated. The new standing order, we need to know from where, Mr. Speaker, so that we can be guided.
As which, Mr. Speaker, as we check on the standing order, what is the state on the seconder or whatever, can we call this the seconder? Another seconder, as we progress on what we are talking about.
Order, Honorable Kashoba, order.
Point of order, Point of clarification, Mr. Speaker.
What is it, Honorable Mahinde?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I agree with the Honorable Ngeshe as to the fate of the procedural motion. What I know now is that the substantive motion then stands to follow the right procedure. What has failed is the procedural motion for exemption from giving notice. But for the other matter of the substantive motion, that one I believe now follows the natural chain of days.
Maybe Honorable Speaker.
What is it, Majority Leader?
Maybe Honorable Speaker, because I think we still have enough time to handle this issue. This should not prevent us from proceeding with the other matters that have been made in this House. We should just proceed and give it the 2 weeks. Otherwise, there's so much that has been happening pertaining to matters on alcohol and the rest. And I think within a span of 2 weeks, we'll be able to revisit the said issue. So it is better we proceed, my proposal, it is better we proceed with the other matters that have been tabled in this House as we wait for the lapse of the 2 weeks.
More information, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Bo Murithi?
Mr. Speaker, sir, if you may allow me, let me first of all take this opportunity to welcome the students of Simba Primary together with their teachers. No, Kenny, Mombi, sorry, Mombi Primary. The head teacher is my good friend. We've worked previously with her. And I want to tell our very able students that the sky is never the limit. Continue working smart, continue obeying your teachers, continue obeying your parents, and I can assure you that you will go far. One day you will be seated where we are if you continue trusting on God, and if you continue obeying your teachers and parents and working in the rightful way. Out of that, Mr. Speaker, sir, let me go back to the business in the House. Mr. Speaker, sir, the reason as to why I'm raising this issue on procedure, this motion should take it should take that's standing order 50B. We should be allowed to this motion to be discussed after 24 hours. We know that matters alcohol, we've been taken to court not once, not twice. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would request that this time round, let's do things the way they're supposed to be done. Let's follow the rightful procedure so that we can deny these people an opportunity to take us to the courts because of breaching what is supposed to be done in the rightful way. They always look for loopholes. They always look for means and ways to carpet us, and this can be one of the issues that these people can use against us. I'm not against the report. I am a member of this committee. I'm against the procedure, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, sir, point of information.
Proceed, Honorable Deji.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, the mover of the motion and the seconder of the motions, they are members of the same committee. And Mr. Speaker, to my view, through your discretion, I wish if the committee had sought a leave so that they could have put their house in order. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members, for your contribution on that. Honorable members, pursuant to Standing Order 61, the question on any motion shall not be proposed unless it shall have been seconded, and any motion that is not seconded shall be deemed to have been withdrawn and shall not be moved again in the same session. Therefore, honorable members, this was a procedural motion, and a procedural motion for exemption of the notice, of the one-day notice, was to be debated and voted for. However, the fact that it did not successfully have a seconder, the motion takes its normal route and will be scheduled by the House business as per earlier notice given. Clerk, next order.
Mr. Speaker, sir, as per your directions,
Under the procedural motion, we have another motion, which is also a procedural motion by Honorable Elijah Mwaginyaga, the leader of the majority party.
Honorable Elijah Mwaginyaga, majority leader and member for Kaibaga, proceed.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Pursuant to provisions of standing orders 29 and 32, I beg to move the following motion that this House does resolve to alter its legislative calendar and the adjournment date therein.
Order, honorable members, consult in low tones.
Therein, pursuant to provisions of standing orders 29 subsection 4, such that the adjournment date for the short recess in the third part of the calendar is changed from 23rd day of October 2024 to 16th October 2024, and that the recess commences on 17th October 2024, and that consequently the House does resolve to adjourn its sittings from its sitting of today, the 16th day of October 2024 at 2:30 p.m. to Tuesday, 5th November 2024 at 9:30 a.m. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I beg to call Thank you.
Honorable majority leader, you may call the seconder.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I beg to call the minority whip to second on this.
Honorable Ibrahim Mwangi Maina, minority whip and member for Murugaru, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Leading the mood of the House, I may propose. And I second.
The motion is duly moved and seconded. I now propose the question, which is that this House does resolve to alter its legislative calendar and the adjournment date therein pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 29-4, such that the adjournment date for the short recess in the third part of the calendar is changed from 23rd day of October 2024 to 16th October 2024, and that the recess commences on 17th October 2024, and that consequently this House does adjourn for short recess from today, the 16th day of October 2024 at 2:30 p.m. to Tuesday, the 5th day of November 2024 at 9:30 a.m. Honorable Stephen Murithi Matimo, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I would wish to seek an amendment to that procedural motion that instead of, because we shall be going for CASA games, and the only time that, Mr. Speaker, sir, we can be able to sit for committee meetings is when we are in the assembly. So I was of the opinion that we change from 5th to 30th. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. And I call Honorable Ngeshe to second.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Point
What is it, Honorable Muhindi?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Honorable Steve has just given us a lesson on the standing orders. I would like to remind him of the provisions of the standing orders on an amendment to a motion, that it has to be provided to the clerk 2 hours before that motion, unless the Speaker approves. So unless the Honorable Speaker is approving that intention of amendment, we do not even discuss it. We should be home by now.
Order, honorable members. Honorable Steve Murithi Matimo, you are out of order. The fact that you have not provided the notice to the amendment of the motion. You can only agree with the mover or oppose as the question will be put. Honorable Paul Gecho-Wabeire, proceed. Member for Kipipiri and Chairperson, Health Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You see, members here, they think that I could have seconded. And definitely I could not have seconded. So it was payback time for him, Mr. Speaker. And actually that adjournment is okay because we have unprecedented times ahead. We need to pray for Kenya. And it's good time we go to the mountain, Mr. Speaker, so that we may pray for our country, Kenya. And Mr. Speaker, we also need also as a house, Mr. Speaker, maybe we have adequate time so that we keep our house in order. I don't say it is burning, but it is burning, Mr. Speaker. And even sometimes it is not point of order. Even sometimes there is what we call aeroplane oil, and members are burning midnight oil, scratching their head where to get even the fuel. And of course, it is not in the public domain. I mean, the fuel come here, Mr. Speaker. And we need
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
We need to have.
What is it, Honorable Karo Jarara? Order, Honorable Paul
what
Gete.
is happening.
Order.
What is happening.
Order, Paul Gete.
Especially with the treasury.
Honorable Gete,
Whether
there is a point of order from
Okay.
Karo Jarara. Honorable Karo Jarara.
Mr. Speaker, I think it's wise for Mr. Honorable Geche to explain to us, because he has just mentioned that the house is burning. I would like to understand what he meant, because when I look up, I cannot see fire anywhere. So maybe he need to tell us what kind of fire he is talking about. Thank you.
Honorable Geche, you may go ahead and respond as you proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When the son of mountain is at the siege, and the TV set is there, showing us what is happening, it is burning. It is burning, and burning means, now you see, it is not you see, it is not the fire, the physical fire. And this can only be understood in the mountain. I second. Let's go to the mountain.
Honorable Mere Wajiku Kaviro, the majority, the chief whip, and special member from Rorie. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am standing to support my brother, Honorable Ngeche. It is actually not burning. We have just read on internet courses that the mountain is erupting tomorrow. I am sure when the mountain erupts, there is a little bit of fire or more fire. So we are actually supposed, as he says, to go to the mountain, kneel down and pray that when it erupts, it doesn't get to you and me. I want to support that the amendment that the honorable member for Olkalau was talking about. We are just going for recess and then breaking for the CASA games. Those of us that are very, very actively involved will come back on 27th, very tired, so we need the extra week so that we may rest and regain the energy that we have got. So I want to support the adjournment motion. Thank you.
You may call the mover to respond.
Mr. Speaker, I call the mover.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I'm so much glad with the contribution from the members. Indeed, as you have listened to the sentiments of the members, it is quite true that members need to ventilate and also have a great moment to even to relax. It's like you have heard from the members that the mountain is burning, and indeed, there is a lot of pressure from the people of the mountain. Right at the moment, as also we are seated here, you know what is really transpiring within the mountain, and members need to have time to go and have a great moment with their maker, seeking intervention of the maker, so that things will move smooth as per their expectation. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, we are proceeding for the CASA Games, and that warrants the essence of having an adjournment, because members will be proceeding to the CASA Games. Most of the members are involved in different categories of these games, and they also need time, Mr. Speaker, maybe be just before the start of the games, even to have a great moment to do the practice and the rest. So I wish all the members a very great moment as we engage ourselves with the CASA sports, and a great moment to also to intermingle with the rest of the Kenyans, and for those who seek solace from God, also to have an interceding movement, interceding on behalf of the mountain, so that all will be well within God's appointed time. So thank you very much, and may God bless Nyandarua, may God bless this assembly and the members at large. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and I move.
Thank you, honorable members. I now put the question, which is that this House does resolve to alter its legislative calendar at the adjournment date therein pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 29-4, such that the adjournment date for the short recess in the third part of the calendar is changed from 23rd day of October 2024 to 16th day of October 2024, and that the recess commences on 17th October 2024, and that consequently this House does adjourn for short recess from today, the 16th day of October 2024 at 2:30 p.m. to Tuesday, the 5th day of November 2024 at 9:30 a.m. May those of a similar opinion say aye. May those of a contrary opinion say nay. And the ayes have it. Congratulations, honorable members, for having successfully moved that procedural motion. Order, honorable members. And I wish every participant in the CASA Games success, and even the mountain. Honorable members, want to inform you that mountains are not moved. Even on the highest earthquake of the highest Richter scale, they only shake, they don't move. So we stand assured. Clerk, next order.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the business of this sitting as appearing on the order paper has been exhausted.
Honorable members, there being no other business to transact under this sitting, I now adjourn the House to Tuesday, the 5th day of November 2024 at 9:30 a.m.